Good morning, grade 7. In this video, we are going to start a new lesson. So, chapter 21, lesson 3, human space travel. First, we will start with some definitions. So, a satellite. What is a satellite? A satellite is an object that orbits another object. In space, satellites might be made by men, like artificial satellites, or they may be natural. The moon is a natural satellite that orbits the Earth. Most man-made satellites also orbit the Earth, but some orbit other planets such as Saturn, Venus, or Mars, or even the moon. So in 1957, we had the first artificial satellite, which is Sputnik. It's the first artificial satellite was Sputnik 1, launched by the Soviet Union on October 4, 1957. At about the size of a basketball, Sputnik 1 was equipped with a radio transmitter that gave off a beeping signal, helping the Soviets to track it on its 98-minute orbit and to signal to the world that the USSR was the leader in space. This was the first artificial satellite. So artificial satellites could be said as a useful byproduct of the Cold War. In 1955, the United States and the Soviet Union announced plans to launch artificial satellites. On October 4, 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, as we just said. It was the first artificial satellite. It circled Earth once every 96 minutes and transmitted radio signals that could be received on Earth. On November 3, 1957, the Soviets launched a second satellite, Sputnik 2. It carried a dog named Laika. It was the first animal to soar in space. And the United States launched its first satellite, Explorer 1, on January 3, 1958, and the second, the Vanguard 1, on March 17, 1958. The second definition that we should know is rocket. So, the rocket is a space vehicle. It is a simple yet a forceful machine that propels objects into the air. The third definition is a space probe. It's a robotic spacecraft that travels outside of the Earth's orbit and gathers information about distant planets and outer space. Space probes are designed to operate on their own, gathering data and sending it back to Earth for scientists to analyze. Scientists have sent probes in many directions in space. Probes have traveled towards many of the planets in our solar system, toward our Sun, and even off beyond the orbit of Pluto. Each probe has a different mission and collects different data. It is common for probes to be powered by a combination of batteries and solar panels, but some probes have other experimental power sources as well. Now, we have different types of space probes. The first one is the flyby. It's a planetary flyby. A planetary flyby is the act of sending a space probe past a planet or a dwarf planet close enough to record scientific data. This space probe doesn't need to orbit nor to land in space. So this is the first type of space probes. The second type, it's the orbiter, and as its name says, it's a spacecraft designed to orbit a celestial body without landing on its surface. Whereas the last type of space probe is a lander. It's a space vehicle that is designed to land on a celestial body, such as the moon or a planet.